Hello my lovelies, welcome back to another episode of McCall Media TV, whereby in today's episode we're going to be looking at doing a page redirect on our website and why you might need to do that, as well as possibly setting up a URL or a website redirect. So basically we're looking at redirections of website pages and websites themselves and some scenarios as to why you may need to consider to do this for yourselves. And it's all happening in today's video. Okay then, so if you've been following my tutorial so far, you know that I've got a second branch of my business, which is point and click puzzle games, and I've been developing a website for that arm of my business, and I've been using that as a subject to create YouTube tutorials to teach you guys how to do it yourself as well. And in the last tutorial I left it whereby we had populated the about page section on our WordPress theme website, and that section itself had 4 components. Where are we? Over here. And that I had explained that these at the moment are all being powered by particular pages that we've created, but we don't want to necessarily navigate to a page. What I want to do is navigate the visitor out to my website, which is McCall Media. And it just happens to be that I'm going to also in the future have a website for myself, which will be angelamccall.co.uk, but at the moment that is also a domain. Even though I can type it in, I have forwarded to my where are we? Angela McCall, there we go, .co.uk, and that's actually forwarding right now, so you can watch the URL up here change, and that is also forwarding to this website because I haven't built it yet. So just quickly diving into my hosting, I use Ionos. Again, website links will be below if you need them, but Ionos is quite a well-known hosting company. You might be using someone like Bluehost or Farhost, it doesn't matter, they'll all give you the same tools. But if we quickly dive on in, I've already blown up the page so you can see it quite nicely, so it's quite large. At the top here is my angelamccall.co.uk domain name, and as you can see at the moment that is basically going and living to the web space that's controlling my McCall Media website, as it were. We can also look that I've done this and used this same technique. Obviously mccall.media goes to this web space, but we've also got mccallmedia.co.uk, so I've got different variations going on here, which is quite a nice way of capturing visitors to your site that might type in the .com version instead of the .co.uk or wherever it is in the world that you live, and whatever variation, it could be a .org, .media, whatever, it doesn't matter, but it's a nice way of capturing people that might end up typing in the domain slightly wrong. But if I was to copy this right now and also go over here, I'll also end up on my McCall Media website page. There we go, and the URL's just changed. So the website URL at that level, for the domain name, you can apply a redirect. Now how you do that, it will be an option on that domain. When you go into the settings for the particular domain, it will ask you if you want to do a redirect and all sorts of different things. You might have to go into the actual settings. There you go, adjust destination, because I've already got one in place, but it would probably say redirect if I didn't. And then you can obviously have a play there as well. And you don't have to direct always to websites. You can see that this one here, mccallmedia.tv, is redirecting actually to my YouTube channel. So if I was to copy that, instead of writing in that long old serial number, which I think is a technique that I used when I first launched the YouTube channel, there we go. So you can see how it's changed and updated, and everything is nicely working that way as well. So that's a nice little trick for you as well if you're working with YouTube and you've got this long serial number and you can't customize it just yet. You could always create a domain name redirect there. Okay. And so there's a couple of little tricks of the trade to help you with URLs or website redirects. But back to my website. This one here, so this one, Angela McCall and McCall Media Limited, these need to both link out of this website environment to an external site. So we want the tabs to open up in a new tab so we don't lose our visitors' connection here, but we want to send them to the other areas as well. So even though Angela McCall isn't a website that even exists just yet, I can still set up the redirect to go to that domain name, because that domain itself will then control the redirect to the other website. So I can get the technical aspects of this page component created correctly right now, even though the website doesn't exist, which is quite a nice way of sorting things out, because when you're actually designing websites, there's never going to be a way to remember everywhere that you have put these URLs, and it's, you know, you get your admin sorted out here even though it doesn't exist yet. So coming back to our dashboard, we're going to go to plugins. We're going to use a plugin because obviously I'm trying to teach you guys how to do this, and it's the easiest way for you to do these type tasks for yourself. I'm literally going to write up here redirect, and we're going to have a look. Now I have got a plugin in mind because obviously I do this stuff quite a lot, and the plugin that I'm actually looking for, if I can see it, oh, it's this one here. It's by John Godley. It's called Redirection. Oh, there we go. If you click on it, you can get some information about it. This is the plugin that I normally use if I have to do any kind of redirects within a website. You can learn all about it. You can visit the plugin page. You can visit the website page itself. Usual checks. Obviously, it's a very popular plugin because it's got over 1 million active installations, which is a really good sign. It was updated 4 months ago, so it's kind of under the 6-month rule. At the time of filming this is now early September 2020. The world has been in lockdown, so there's a high possibility that the company hasn't necessarily been operating that much. So I will keep an eye on this, but it's, again, don't use anything that's more than 6 months old, and make sure it's got that green tick that is compatible with your version of WordPress. Now I've used this plugin lots, so I'm familiar with it, so I'm quite confident that it's not going to screw up my website. But again, before you install anything, always do a backup, so that if everything goes wrong, you've at least got the ability to refer back to the last physical working version of your site. So I'm just going to click on the install button right now to get the plugin installed, and then what we will do is we are going to basically take the website page and redirect it. Now I'm going to click on active there, wait for it to load. Now it's come over here. I will cover these updates and backups in another tutorial, but there is my plugin that we've just installed. I'm just going to check on the settings, make sure everything is fine. I think it's just a tutorial teaching us how to basically use this tool, which is essentially you put in the original website page and then the one you want to send it to. It's not particularly complicated. Monitor permalinks, see if basically it will also do some of this in the background for you. So I'm going to click on yes, and I'm going to keep all the 404 errors because it's quite handy to customize those pages in the future. Everything is now finished. I'm just going to finish the setup, let it do its thing. There we go, click on finished, and then click on continue, and it should, there we go, send us to our redirects page. Now if you're not sure on how to find that, if you look over on the left hand side down the bottom here, now underneath the tools there is a redirection section, which is all good. Now it does give us the ability here to customize a few other elements. I'm not going to touch any of that for the moment, because what I want to do is actually jump straight over here into the redirects. Now these have been automatically assigned because of the 301 code errors. Again, I'll cover that in another tutorial. So this is just basically WordPress and that plugin doing its job, so just don't worry about what already exists. Now if we look back here on point and click, let me just refresh the page, make sure we're working on the latest version. So I in my last tutorial spread that section the whole width of the page, and if you look at the moment, these all go to pages on the site that need to be populated, but these two particular pages we are going to skip now completely. So let's go to the McCall Media one because we're going to need to get the URL. I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to go back to my redirection. Okay, so I am going to put in the source URL is the website page that we want to redirect. We're going to exact match for all parameters in this order, so we're going to leave it exactly as it is, and then the target URL, we're going to go to our website, and I'm going to just grab, oh, wrong page, the place that we want it to go to, and then we're going to add in, redirections. What's that last one? Modified, no, it's not a post, and then we're going to add in the redirect. Okay, so now you can see that it's appeared up here. So what we've got is it's basically telling us in the blue, that's the page, but what it's actually going to do is send it to here. And then it does give us the ability to check the redirect. So it's just giving us a little summary here that everything is now, as far as the app or the plugin is concerned, everything seems to be working fine. And what we can do is we can come to this page. Now, as we're still loaded on it up here, what I'm just going to do is I'm literally going to hit the F5 button on my keyboard to refresh. And instead of this page refreshing, we should now find ourselves on the McCall Media website. So that particular redirect has worked quite nicely. Okay, let's just come back. And I'm going to literally repeat the same thing again for the other page. So with this Angela McCall page, we don't actually want this to work. We want them to go to a website, which will send them to my angelamccall.co.uk when I've created it, but I haven't yet. So I'm just going to literally down here, create a new one, paste it, and then the page that we want them to go to, it's going to be https:// www.angelamccall.co.uk, and we're going to add the redirect. Okay, and we're going to leave it be for a second, and then we're going to check on that. And as far as it's concerned, everything is working fine, and we can test that by now coming back here. And now when I click on this, you might just see it. No, it's not even showing you, it's gone straight through. Now don't forget, we've not gone to the angelamccall.co.uk because the website doesn't exist, and the URL itself has the redirect to this website. So that just probably adds a little bit of a confusion in there, but essentially what I've got is a redirect on a redirect. So I've got a redirect on a page going to a website that doesn't exist, which has got a redirect to a website that does. So essentially we are now firing on all cylinders for these two pages, these two about content sections. So again, watch my previous video on about those, because I've got to populate them just for this WordPress theme one page to populate here. And in the next tutorial, we're going to cover actually how to style some content, because these two pages, point and click puzzle games, is going to be an actual page of the website, and the same thing here for teaching kids to code. So I actually have to write the content now, and I need to design images for all four and that kind of thing. So we've got lots of work to be done. So for the moment, that kind of covers us on the redirect today. That kind of brings this particular component of this tutorial up to date. And essentially, that's it. So the next tutorial, we are going to actually look at styling the content of these pages. So that means adding in some the excerpt that basically populates this. But essentially, when we go into McCall Media, I had actually put a different line of text, but we're going to look at all of the different content, so how we can populate different things on this landing page for the website versus the actual page itself, and we can deal with the concepts and the content there. So that kind of brings us to a close on this today. If you haven't been here before, please do subscribe, stay notified to my channel. I've got loads of content coming up over the next few weeks and months, not just on WordPress, but I'm going to be covering all different aspects of digital marketing, from building sales funnels, because obviously once I've got my apps and everything published, I'm going to want to put promotions out there, advertising campaigns, build mailing lists, all sorts. So I'm just literally layering up the knowledge one video at a time. So do stay notified by clicking the bell, and I'll see you on another episode real soon.